Welcome to She's in the Weeds.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Hollis.
We're best friends exploring the intersection of pop culture and the female experience.
Be sure to follow us on socials and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode.
And if you love us, give us that 5-star review.
Nailed it.
I think it's fine.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello. I mean, we've got lines, so
We got lines, baby. That's really all we need.
that's all we need. Yeah.
We're
Lively.
live, I know. Well, we're live from
On
Indianapolis.
location.
Yeah. But we're also like not lively.
Not lively. And like, we didn't even like drink or anything.
I know. We
We had one
very
martini.
reasonable. We were home by like 10 o'clock last night.
Yeah. Literally one martini because we ordered the second one.
We really didn't
and
drink it.
Didn't drink it.
Had a full meal.
Yeah. And we really just, I wonder if anyone else experiences this because we were talking about this last night. With martinis, it's like you have the pre-dinner cocktail.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you start eating the food, the martini tastes like crap.
No.
And then you can't.
Yeah. Or I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's also that is a dirty martini thing. Like, I wonder if we drank regular martinis
Like a
or
dry
like,
martini.
yeah.
Because I feel like that doesn't happen with wine.
no.
Or
But it's definitely
There's
like,
something,
it's a
though.
wine's like meant to be paired with food. I feel like martinis are meant to just be like drank alone.
yeah.
You're just trying to
Do
get
you
a
want to
buzz.
scoot closer so you're not like, your cord is like not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
You were like,
I wasn't comfortable either.
no,
I
I
don't
could
know.
tell. You like looked very like tense.
I don't know why I was sitting like that. Oh, Lord. But anyways, we're in Indianapolis for a concert. We're going to see Humphreys McGee at the Vogue.
That's right.
By the time you're listening to this, we would have already gone.
Yes.
But a lot of our friends are in town, so that'll be fun. We're going to have to rally the energy somehow, though.
I know. Like, why? Well, the problem is yesterday was Friday, so we work out at 6 a.m. So we were up at like 5,
Yeah.
worked all day, took care of kids all day.
I've had a crazy week at work, too. So it was like a stressful one.
Yeah. Then we had to drive up here. Then we got ready, went out. So, like, even though we were back by 10 and like went to bed, I think we tried to watch a couple movies and then finally settled on The Sixth Sense, which, you guys, we didn't finish it, but it
It's
hits
still
20 years,
good,
like
yeah.
25 years later.
I mean, I practically forgot everything that happened except for the obvious parts.
Right. I know. So, and like we were in bed by midnight, but at that point, like we'd been awake for like 19 hours. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So,
We're dragging a little bit this morning.
but, you know, we'll get it together.
We'll get it together.
We'll have a good time. We
That's
always
right.
do.
That's right.
But what else has been going on?
Well, let's see. You know what I noticed, which I wonder if other people notice, is do you ever feel like when you're watching a show or like listening to something or whatever it is and you hear like a media voice from like before 1980, it always is the same voice? Like it always sounds the same.
A radio voice?
Like a radio
Yeah.
voice or even like a television news broadcaster or like any.
Yeah.
It's always sounds like an old white guy.
Yeah.
And it's
for
like
sure.
the same old white guy.
Yeah, television newscasters for sure. They all talk with the same cadence.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
You know.
that's not how their normal voice sounds.
No.
but yeah.
Anyway, that's not interesting.
Good observation.
Surely
I
we've
went
got
and
some
saw,
more
I went and saw
interesting
Begonia.
Begonia, sure.
No spoilers, guys. I'm not going to ruin it. I'm not going to talk about what happened, but it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. The acting, fantastic.
Nice.
I think Jesse Plemons is going to win an Oscar, or if he at least deserves to
nominated.
win one. Yeah. Emma Stone was great. I thought the story was, I mean, it's a wild ride.
Yeah.
And the narrative was different than I was anticipating. But I am so curious for you to watch it, and we'll have to talk about the ending.
Okay.
I liked it.
Okay.
Adam did not.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, he didn't not like it, but he's a writer, and this is one thing, like watching movies with writers, like I'm pretty like easy to please with the narrative.
right.
But you know, he can see like
yeah, he
there's
sets
holes
the bar
in
a
the
little
stories.
higher. Yeah.
Where I'm like, oh yeah, that didn't bother me because it didn't occur to me, but that is a good point. Yeah. So he can like he liked it overall, but there were some holes for him.
Plot holes. Okay.
But yeah, I'm very curious to see what you have to say, because I
Is
think
it
you're a
still in
little bit more
theaters?
critical than I too. Yeah.
Okay. So
Oh
I'll
my
have to wait.
God! And we went to the movie theater downtown in Indy. Oh, I'm never gonna be able to go to another movie theater. There's only like 30 seats in the whole place.
Yeah.
They're all these like recliners, like, oh, so nice.
I mean, honestly, when we went to see Freaky Friday, I was like, I'm never going to a movie theater again.
I mean, I would not that one. The
No.
movie theater in Bloomington is horrendous.
It's terrible.
It ruins the whole experience.
Yeah, I would have much rather watched it from the comfort of my own home.
Yeah, I was like, I
it
literally
adds
was like,
nothing to the experience.
no, and I truly was like, I don't even want to sit in this chair. It's
It's so
stained and
dirty and
gross, and the
gross.
floors are sticky. I
My
was
feet
like,
are sticking to the floor.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
And I
know.
mean, it'd be one thing if it was like the
need a
$2
Lux
theater.
theater.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, it does. It takes the fun out of it for sure.
Yeah.
So it was overall a very nice experience, and I was like, oh yeah, this is why you go to the movies.
Right. Well, I don't know. We'll have to try Bedford maybe. Didn't you say Bedford's supposed to be
Oh yeah, I
nice?
heard they have like a new nice theater.
Good deal.
But I do like going to the movies.
I know.
And I
used
kind of
to.
just like stopped, like I used to in high school,
Yeah.
and then you get in college, like I never went to a movie.
See, I did. I used to go. Brittany and I used to go a lot, and then I did on my days off. That's what I would do
Oh, yeah.
because they used to have, if you went, it used to be before 5 for matinee on the weekends would be $5. Then they switched it to before noon, which was kind of ridiculous. But I would on my days off, which was usually just Sunday from the bar. Like that's what I would do on my me day. I would get up. I would literally go to the movies at like 9:30 in the morning. Then
Yeah.
I would go get myself lunch. And then I'd go like sit in a bar in the afternoon and read.
Sounds lovely.
That's what I did. Yeah.
Yeah, going to a movie by yourself is kind of like going to dinner by yourself.
Oh, it
feels
the best.
great.
I would spend the whole day alone and I loved it.
Yeah. I mean, it is nice to go to a movie with somebody because then you can talk about it
Right.
after. But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to be ladies who lunch and movie.
Yeah. I mean, if we can find a nice theater. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to that garbage theater, but yeah. Okay. Do we need to talk about David Harbour? Like
Yeah.
what is going
I guess
on
he's
here?
just like a
Is
nightmare
he
person.
just a misogynist?
I mean, apparently. God.
I mean, okay, for like all this
But
stuff.
I guess Millie Bobby Brown's accusations weren't like
It was,
sexually
like,
charged, but,
no.
but it's still definitely misogyny because he's just like, I feel like the perspective I got was like he used to coddle her as like a girl, and then she turned into a woman, and now he hates her because he hates women.
I guess. I mean, I couldn't really gather from the information that's out there because there's not a ton of information
Yeah.
about the
can't
actual
read what-
allegations. But, and I guess, there was an internal investigation and I don't know if we'll ever get like the actual details, but yeah, it was pretty vague, like harassment and bullying.
Yeah.
And it is curious because I didn't necessarily see anything about it being later on. So I'm wondering, like,
It was in the new season. Like they shot this new season, right?
well, what I saw is that she had filed the allegations and that she said she was only going to film this season with him if she had a personal representative on set with her. So I'm thinking, my understanding was that the allegations were from former seasons.
Oh, okay.
And
maybe I
that was her
misunderstood.
condition to film the finale season.
Gotcha.
Like she filed the allegations ahead of the finale season and then
Oh,
filmed it with a
with
personal
the caveat that like, yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I don't know.
interesting.
And it is, that part is curious because it's like if the allegations are going all the way back to the first season, like she was a child.
Right.
So I'm so interested to know, like, particularly the timeline.
Yeah, because I feel like I was looking at stuff on the internet and it was like when she was a kid, or it's really young in the show, that they had this great like
Well, because
mentor
that's what it's always
relationship.
been portrayed as. When
Yeah.
they've been together on red carpets or they've been interviewed together, it's always been,
Yeah, like
it
oh, I
seemed
really
like
look
they-
out for her.
Yeah.
Oh, he's kind of like my dad
yes,
on set.
yes, that their relationship in real life was sort of similar to what their characters portray on
Yeah.
the show.
So I wonder, yeah, if that was just like
Like
a media
a
thing,
farce or
Yeah.
like good word, a farce. so sparse. Anyway, it's because I've been watching too many period pieces. But yeah, and then of course that in like conjunction with his now very public split with Lily Allen.
Yeah.
And I haven't listened to the album, but obviously like it's very, people are saying it's like not even coded. It's just like word for word.
Like blatant,
like this
yeah.
is what happened. And that apparently he came to her at some point during their marriage and was like, I'm a man, I need to have more sex than this, like, and you know, wanted to do an open marriage, and their agreement was okay, but obviously like be discreet, don't embarrass me, and that it had to be a paid transaction, so sex work, like no.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And so of course he obviously broke all those rules and she found out. The other interesting part is that this is her first album in 7 years. They've been together and or married for like 5 of those years. And like she obviously wasn't creating.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I wonder if she had to take a back seat to like his budding stardom from, because he was a working actor before Stranger Things, but like he wasn't famous before that. And I'm curious like if their relationship was like toxic in a way to where she wasn't. Yeah, it is interesting. And then all of a sudden, like, obviously this was probably inspiration, you know, as most like breakups and things are. But
well, she started acting. She started theater acting like in London or in England. Okay. And I read something where like, yeah, she got this kind of big theater role.
Oh, the note.
And the note that he wrote her was just like, if you get this or if you can like continue, it's going to make me mad or crazy or something. I can't remember verbatim, but it was like, oh, wow. And you couldn't really tell if it was like, oh, just like.
It sounded very passive aggressive.
You could tell that it was like, that probably is real. Like, it's probably not a joke where he's like, oh, I might get mad. It seemed like an actual warning.
Yeah, it seemed like, I don't like you.
Well, yeah, and like now we're in direct competition as opposed to like, oh, you're my partner. Yeah, I'm happy for you.
You're going to win all these awards.
And I'm going to hate it.
And I'm going to hate it or something. Yeah, let's pull it up. The note reads, my ambitious wife, these are bad luck flowers, because if you get reviewed well in this play, you will get all kinds of awards and I'll be miserable. Your loving husband.
Yeah, like what a fucked up thing to send to somebody where it's like I feel like he could probably be like, oh, well, that's just our like joking banter. But like,
right, like that's Kristen like Bell, Dax Shepard thing.
Yeah, like that is too passive aggressive and weird.
There's
like,
can you imagine truth to that? 100%.
Yeah, and like, can you imagine getting that on your opening night and just being like, thanks for ruining this for me?
Exactly. Yeah. It's very strange. And people then, of course, were going back. They did a tour with Architectural Digest for their like Brooklyn townhouse. So then, of course, everyone was going back and like looking for little like Easter eggs in that. I watched it. I mean, there is one scene where he says something about designing this for the 3 women that I love. And she's like in the kitchen. They're in the kitchen and she's like in the background of the shot. And she does not look at all amused. I mean, he's like kind of like for the 3 women that I love, you know.
Ew, gross.
And she's in the background, like you can see it on her face that like yeah. And then there's one other scene where she makes a joke and he seems like annoyed by it a little bit, but other than that, I didn't notice like a ton of tension. Of course, people were like tearing it apart, being like they hate each other. And, like,
yeah.
But
it sounds like a pretty typical relationship that I think a lot of men and women have, where it's like the male's just pretty toxic.
Very sure.
You know, and just like has a control issue and like plays it off as like, oh, ha ha ha, like funny banter. But it's like, no, he's probably super controlling.
Well, and I was listening to Disrespectfully Pod, shout out to Dana and Katie, and they were talking about this a little bit. And Dana was talking about, she read a book, and now I can't remember the name of the book, but it was like a memoir type book that this woman wrote, and she's writing about some of her exes and like men that she's been with, and she writes this chapter about this guy, and Of course, she doesn't name anyone in the book, but then Dana's like, being who I am, I had to go and like research everything and find out. So she like found a Reddit thread about it, and it's supposedly David Harbour who she's writing about.
Oh.
And how they like went to this hotel room and did all this weird kinky stuff and like had all this bizarre sex, and then she like wakes up in the middle of the night and he's just like hunched over in a corner like eating a pack of Oreos just like obsessively.
Yikes.
And how it was just like such a strange experience. And so yeah, like I just wonder if he's like
compulsive,
some kind of compulsive. Yeah.
That sounds like I have a need and I can't fill it any other way, so I fill it with like this like compulsory.
And then you wonder too if like he's always been that way, and now it's like fueled and exacerbated by the fame and the money and being able to really like lean into it, or if it's something that has evolved with fame. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I feel like once you get a taste of it, I mean, it can make your ego go wild. Yeah, you know. And now, like when you were maybe unsure about like your superiority complex, you get a little bit of fame, and you're like, oh, I've been vindicated.
Exactly.
I am this amazing, and now all the women I date are going to,
understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah. It's been an interesting story, and it is unfortunate for the fans. It's like, it's kind of like a little dark cloud over the premiere.
I know. Because don't you hate that? Especially when it's like, I haven't watched Stranger Things, but was he a character that was revered?
Oh my God. He's such a beloved character.
Yeah, like that sucks.
It sucks because
it ruins the guy.
His character is fabulous, and it's like, and like him and I mean, spoiler if you haven't seen it. God, the last season was 3 years ago. You know, him and Winona are having their little romance finally, and like it's been a will they won't they with them from like day one, and it's just like, I don't know. Yeah, he's great. The character is great, and it's such a bummer that like
that is a bummer.
Maybe the guy is not so great.
Yeah, I know. I think I'm gonna start I'm gonna like binge it.
Oh, it's
since
great.
The new season's coming out. I know it's one of those that everybody's like, you've never seen that, and I've never seen Breaking Bad either.
Stranger Things takes the cake for me.
Does it?
It's just more my alley. I mean, I love the sci-fi, like so. But yeah, it's so good. It really is. And I've heard a lot of people saying like, we don't care. Everybody's moved on. No, we haven't.
Yeah, because we're supposed to have another season.
Oh yeah,
right?
We've been waiting. I mean, it's been 3 years, and that's like a long time. I get it. And like the original, this is the 5th season, and the first season aired almost a decade ago. Yeah. So it's taken 10 years almost to get 5 seasons, which is like kind of crazy. But yeah, a lot of the people that I've heard talking about the premiere are like, nobody cares anymore. Like, we've all moved on. No,
we haven't.
The fans care. We care. We've been waiting. We're obsessed. And it's projected to be the biggest premiere Netflix has ever had.
Oh, I bet.
In terms of viewership. So people care.
Everyone who watched the show, which is almost the entire country.
Yeah, we care. Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of, that part's a little bit of a bummer.
That's a bummer.
Like, I don't want to have to like view the character differently now.
Yeah. So, well, hopefully, I mean, he is a good actor, so maybe you'll forget once you start watching.
I know. And I guess they were recently interviewed together on the red carpet, ahead of the premiere, him and Millie Bobby Brown, and some like body language expert like, put out a statement and said that like it seems like they're comfortable with each other, and like, so
that's good.
It is curious.
Well,
I wonder what happened.
And just like talking about somebody's relationship, who knows?
Yeah,
exactly what down,
all the
or
cheating and stuff. Yeah. That's like whatever. I mean, that's so many people cheat and have affairs and like are messed up about sex and relationships and whatever. Like, that part's kind of neither here nor there. Like, I could move on from that. Obviously, like, whatever happened between him and Millie can't be that horrible, or she wouldn't. I mean, she's not pulling a Blake Lively and refusing to like, do press with him. So I mean, for it to be severe enough for her to not want to film without a personal representative seems pretty intense. But like, to just be like, kind of not canoodling, but to be like, because they were like physically touching one another and like laughing and like, you know, to be doing the press for the premiere together and seemingly comfortable and like, so I don't know.
Maybe they had a come to Jesus moment. Maybe they talked about it.
Maybe.
And resolved their issues. Yeah. You know?
Who knows? So speaking of issues, is that a segue?
A really good one.
It was a great one. I did.
Okay, cool.
Did a little digging. And well, I didn't really do any digging. Where did I hear this? I can't even remember. It just sort of came to me by chance. I didn't actually do any digging. I didn't go looking for it, but it came to me and I can't remember what I was listening to now. But we were talking on the last episode about the allegations against Bronwyn and like that stuff that came up on the on last week's episode of Salt Lake. Apparently, this popped up on a subreddit thread. An ex-coworker of hers from the finance company that she worked for posted it and then deleted the post, but of course the sleuths were able to like recover what she had said, or someone had screenshotted it before she deleted it. It said that Bronwyn lied on the show about working as like a trader or an investor or whatever she said she did. She actually just worked as an administrative assistant, and that during the time that she worked there as an administrative assistant, she embezzled money from the company, making charges on a company credit card, including flights and trips for her family members and friends that she then changed the names of on the invoices that she submitted to the company to make it look like it was for employees. And that she even charged like a designer handbag, which I don't know how she like was going to try to justify that. But apparently Todd got involved. She was fired. Todd got involved, and then it just kind of went away. I guess, yeah.
Interesting.
So that's apparently the tea.
It seems weird that if she was married to Todd, she would need to do that.
Right. So,
but
I don't know.
Yeah, Bronwyn's a tricky one because, like, she did lie about the jewelry stuff.
Right.
And even though she did come out and was like, yeah, I lied because I was trying to, like, keep up with the Joneses. And although I was like, yeah. That's cool that you were honest.
Thing to hear, because most of the time they try to make it seem like they weren't lying. It was just a misunderstanding.
Right. And I think a lot of them do that.
Yes.
They embellish things to like make themselves look better and
appear more wealthy than they really are.
Although I was like, oh, that's cool and refreshing, it was also like, okay, well, if you lie about that,
right,
what else are you lying about to like keep up with these standards that you think you have to keep up with,
right?
You know?
And it's like, obviously too, Todd knew they didn't buy the necklace, so like he had to have known that. He may not have seen or heard her confessionals or wherever she actually said it, but obviously he knew that was going to be possibly featured on the show and that they didn't actually buy the necklace. So it's like, I wonder when he found out that she lied about it.
Right. And if he was like, you know, you're just lying on national television, right? And that like, it's gonna come out.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna figure it out.
Well, and the other thing that I just feel like we keep seeing on these shows, which is just like a pattern, is why do people with these kind of criminal histories and that are doing illegal things come on these shows?
I know, like, you know, now nothing is truly sealed.
No,
nothing can ever truly be erased. Like, it's gonna come out,
right? And I cannot imagine that. Okay, so obviously Todd got involved with this. He knows all about it. I cannot imagine that if he was really truly that concerned for like his reputation and his business and all of that, that he would let her come on the show. You think he would be like Bronwyn with that whole situation? Like, there's no way people will find out.
And who knows the validity of what this person said, if she was really doing all those things, if that was embellished. You know, we'll never know truly what she did, probably. No, but like, you're gonna know that like there's something happened.
Yeah, that you don't want coming out, probably either way, because like, people are gonna fill in the blanks.
Yeah, like charging things to the company card. Not like the end of the world, obviously wrong. It's the changing of the names of the flights. Yeah. That's like, because that means there is no, it's calculated. Is that the word I'm looking for? It's not like, oh, I didn't know I couldn't like I thought the assistants could use the credit card. That's like, you're doing something wrong and you're working around it.
But also really like using the credit card for what? It's one thing if you're like walking down.
Obviously, you can't buy bags.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the thing. Card. It's like one thing if you're like buying your lunch while you're working, or you put a coffee on it, or something that you think is like that could possibly be allowed.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, I mean, it's just because I've worked in a corporate setting where I had a company card that we used for things, and I would have never even purchased a coffee with it.
Right.
It's pretty cut and dry.
Well, obviously she knows that was wrong, but I could see there being some world where she would be like, there's a culture of, this is a big company.
Yeah.
We use the card to like put down for a bag that we like, that you have to have some like huge backing for to get on a wait list, and then I pay for it later. Like I could see there being, obviously she knows she's like,
right,
breaking the rules, but I could see there being some world where she has an excuse like that for
the
things she was doing. Now the flight stuff, no, I don't see how you get out of with that. But
well,
but anyways, we'll see. Bronwyn's a weird one too, because on the show she's shady.
Yeah.
Anything you tell Bronwyn, she'll come back and she'll be like, no, she was saying this about you the other day, like straight up pot stirrer.
Yeah, I mean, she came in ready to play.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, from day one.
Yeah, which is so funny because I feel like the whole Todd situation is still so weird. I know we talk about it all the time, but it's like, your wife is one of these women, right?
Right.
Like she's not just like out here gallivanting with a different species. Like this is her.
Yeah.
This is what she was meant to be here.
Yes. Yeah. I know. So yeah, he's a conundrum. Who knows? It's hard to figure out that dynamic with him and her and the show and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be interested to see if and what else sort of comes out on the show about it. But yeah, anyway, that's what I was able to find out.
Nice. Good tea. Okay, cool.
Moving on. Julia Fox.
Sure. Yeah, you just showed this to me. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are about her Halloween costume.
So my thoughts are this. And okay, so for those of you who don't know, Julia Fox dressed as, I keep wanting to say, this is so insane, I keep wanting to say Nancy Sinatra. She dressed as Jackie Kennedy in the outfit that she was wearing after JFK got assassinated, and she had like refused to change her clothes and had blood on her outfit. And so Julia Fox dressed as a woman whose husband has just been tragically murdered. And go ahead and pull up the caption and go ahead and read the caption. And from what I understand, this caption was posted after she had already gotten a little bit of backlash from the costume.
I'm dressed as Jackie Kennedy in the pink suit. Not a costume, but a statement. When her husband was assassinated, she refused to change out of her bloodstained clothes, saying, I want them to see what they've done. The image of the delicate pink suit splattered with blood is one of the most haunting juxtapositions in modern history. Beauty and horror, poise and devastation. Her decision not to change clothes, even after being encouraged to, was an act of extraordinary bravery. It was performance, protest, and mourning all at once. A woman weaponizing image and grace to expose brutality. It's about trauma, power, and how femininity itself is a form of resistance. Long live Jackie O.
Okay. So this is probably like a little woke, whatever. For me personally, I just really don't think dressing as an actual person for a Halloween costume, to me, that's just problematic in and of itself. Dressing as a character who happens to be a person, character from a show, sure. Dressing as an actual person is something, for me personally, I just stay away from and wouldn't do. I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with her caption and like what she was trying to say with the costume, but even just kind of the way she says it when she's like, it's about yada, yada, yada. Well, and this is the part I don't know that I would have to research, but like, did Jackie Kennedy ever say that that's really what it was about, her not changing her clothes? Or is she just kind of like speculating and like making it her own thing? It also sounds a little generated, the comment or the caption. Like, did Julia Fox actually write that? Or, you know what I mean? So that's sort of my only issue, is that it's really for Jackie Kennedy to say why she did that.
Well, when she is quoted, Jackie Kennedy, I want them to see what they've done. That is a known thing historically, that like she kept that suit on for photo, like she was photographed in it.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what else she said.
Right.
But, you know.
And that's kind of what I would be interested to know, because when then she goes on to say it's about this,
I think that's her personal interpretation
and
of it.
to me it's just not really her thing to tell. I don't know, it's just hard to know, because I'm trying to think of it from like how I would feel if I was Jackie Kennedy, and I don't know, I just think
I don't know, I thought it was cool. I feel like it's not a costume, it's an art piece, which I think that's Julia Fox's, like, that's kind of her whole MO, is like, this is like, and I believe, I mean, it is a costume because it's Halloween.
Right.
But I also feel like the point of it was, it is more of an art statement as costume, kind of. And I think when she talks about, you know, it's about performance, protest, mourning all at once, I think that she's talking about her choice to do it, like the outfit itself, not Jackie Kennedy necessarily. I mean, I think it is a risk, because I think it is a very personal thing. It's, you know, a pretty atrocious
personal
thing.
to Jackie.
Right.
I don't know. I
don't know. I feel like when you are, it was very personal to Jackie, but she was also a historical political figure. So it's like, what happens to you also happens to the country. Yeah. You know? I don't know. I thought it was kind of cool, but I could also see how it's, you know, it is a risk and it is a little touchy, you know?
Yeah. I just think, for me personally, it's not something I would do, even if I felt passionate about it and it was important to me. I mean, that doesn't trump the fact that it's somebody else's personal trauma too.
Yeah, and I get that. And I think that's the
tough part for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one thing to talk about it or write about it, but there's something about the physical portrayal of her there's something about the costume aspect of it for me.
Yeah.
I don't like the costume aspect of it, because at the end of the day, if she'd have just, if somebody had done this in, you know, like that woman that like didn't, what does she stay awake for, like, you know, the people that done that like performance art, I would maybe feel a little differently about it. It's the fact that it was Halloween, it's a costume. That's the part that doesn't land for me.
Yeah, that didn't bother me. I mean, if it was like a sexy Jackie O that was like with blood on it, then I would be kind of like, but this was, I feel like I said, I feel like this was more of like an artistic statement, like she kind of described in her thing. It didn't really strike me right away as like, I mean, it is, like I said, it's bold. It's a little risky. It could definitely be taken out of context in the wrong way. But I don't know. It didn't like, I thought it was kind of cool. But I don't know. I get what you're saying.
It's not for me. I just think in the context of Halloween, it's not for me.
Yeah. Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. It is, you know, it is a sensitive thing. Yeah. Like you said, I get the point of like co-opting someone else's trauma.
Yeah.
But then are we also co-opting Jackie Kennedy's trauma? You know, to say that like someone can't, to be offended by it, isn't that also kind of, but
I don't know.
Interesting though.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's a polarizing thing.
I mean, there's no right or wrong.
I don't think there's a right or wrong either. I think just for me personally, I'm not going to be dressing as a person ever for.
So what about people who dress as like Prince or
I don't
Slash
love,
or
I don't
no,
I don't know.
I mean, I don't think there's I think you're right. And
because
it's
like
risky.
Where do you draw the line for like, you know what I mean? Where do you draw the line? And for me, the line is just to make it easy. Just don't dress as a person.
Oh yeah, like if you are trying not to offend anyone or like, you know, cross a line anywhere, for sure, you should probably just stay away from that. But I also feel like you know, dressing as somebody.
But am I offended by somebody dressed as Slash? No.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah. I guess it just depends. But
well, I mean, that's the argument that a lot of people make for, you know, dressing for racist costumes, where it's like you can't a group of people or a race of people is not a costume.
Right.
So I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is Jackie Kennedy right after her husband got shot a costume?
Right. Well,
you
and
know
I
what
feel
I
like,
mean?
no, I get what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't
like,
think
so what's the difference?
I don't think you're wrong. I think it's just, you know, personal opinion, like whether it bothers you or not, you know, like whether you think like, is somebody's trauma open to interpretation as like a costume or an art piece? I don't know. I think that's subjective.
Yeah, it's because like I don't think anybody is gonna say, like, you know, people used to dress as Native Americans for
right,
and I don't think there's anybody. Well, that's not true. There are people who would defend that as a costume. I think. Yeah, who would say you need to get over it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Of course, there are people. Yeah,
but then it's like, okay, but the people who are saying no, you can't dress as an ethnicity of people for a costume,
right?
How's that different from that?
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
I know it, and it's hard
just
to articulate.
All so subjective,
for sure.
Yeah.
And I think the problem with dressing as a Native American is like if they hadn't
you're
been
lumping it all together too,
right?
Yeah.
It's a stereotype of Native Americans.
Yes.
It's one very narrow perspective.
Yes.
And if they hadn't been marginalized and wiped out,
yeah,
it probably wouldn't be as a sensitive a thing. But like,
right?
So we're removing them from Earth. We will not give them any rights.
Right.
But then we also want to be able to dress up as them as a costume. Like, yeah, you don't get it both ways.
Right.
You know? So like, yeah, and I'm not saying it's right either.
No, I know.
I
know.
Like, I don't necessarily think it's wrong
subjective.
either. Yeah.
And it's like if it was just any other Jackie Kennedy costume too.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, sans the blood.
Yeah.
Would it have bothered you?
Probably not.
Yeah. It's pushing the boundaries for sure.
For sure.
And I think the point of it is to be like, whoa, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, and to spark a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I maybe wish she would have said why right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, without the context. And that's the thing about costumes too. Like, and the larger question, the line between appropriation and appreciation is very thin,
dude,
you know? So like
that one's so tough.
There's a lot of people who would say like, oh no, I think Native Americans are incredible and I want to like, you know, celebrate and embrace their culture. So I'm dressing up as one.
Right.
But it's like, I think surface level, most people who dress up as Native Americans don't mean anything by it. It's just that the thought hasn't even occurred to them.
Right.
That maybe they don't see it as a costume and it's actually like a ceremonial garb that is you don't have any respect for it.
Exactly, because you don't understand it.
And that's like the problem is like, well, I didn't mean anything by it.
And a lot of times too, the reasoning is like because somebody wants to look sexy or they think the feathers are cool or whatever it is. Like you know, it's not for the right reasons.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue with a lot of, you know, arguments is like, yeah, you didn't even think about it though. That's the problem. It's like you're not thinking critically about other,
which she obviously thought very critically about
like
what she was doing.
This is a thoughtful. I think this is, and that's why I mean I saw it more as kind of like an art piece statement.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with that. I just am
a little bad taste for you.
Yeah, it's almost like, is the message more important than the possible offensiveness of sort of co-opting the trauma of this woman?
Yeah. Well, and because look at her next costume. Very different. Yeah. She went as a sexy nurse. Yeah. We're like this, you know, I feel like it's totally different.
And again, I do think it's, for me, like if Julia Fox did this in any other context outside of Halloween, I think it would feel different for me in that too. There's something about the context of Halloween that doesn't land with me.
Yeah.
You know, if there was like a performance art place and we walked in and somebody was doing that, I would have a totally different, I'd be like, oh, that's cool. It's the Halloween part for me.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
I don't know.
See, I kind of wish.
Because it's almost like Halloween's not serious. You know what I mean? It's like people dress up. It's supposed to be fun. It's funny. It's kitschy. It's something about the unseriousness, the kind of like super costumey costume of Halloween.
Yeah.
That's not landing with me there. That's what it is.
See, I kind of wish there were more costumes at Halloween like this. Like, I almost wish that's how more people treated Halloween. That it was like, yeah, your costume kind of like is more than just like, I'm a sexy corn cob. You know, like maybe I wish these costumes had like a little bit more thought to them. We're like, oh, wow, because this one, it does make you think. And it makes you go, whoa, that's crazy. What made you do that? You know? Like,
no, I totally agree. I just think maybe like an art installation is the place for that and not Halloween. You know what I mean?
I do. I know what you mean.
But I still love her. So
yeah, and I feel like a lot of it is too because I like her.
Not
I've always known her to be kind of like thoughtful in a way most celebrities aren't, and a lot of her clothes usually do have a statement and a meaning attached to them. Yeah. So yeah, she's the coolest. Well, cool. That was a good conversation.
Okay, so speaking of models, I suppose we can get into our weeds topic. This is something obviously we talk about a lot, and we did like an entire episode early on in the podcast. I think it was like our second, third, I don't know, in the first 5 episodes that we launched, where we talked about just body image. And you know, I think obviously every generation like has their shit with it, but I feel like we really grew up in a time of like extreme diet culture and just really putting thinness on a pedestal. You know, the late 90s and early 2000s were just insane. I mean, and one thing too, I feel like that was different then, and I'm not saying that social media isn't like, you know, doesn't facilitate an environment of diet culture, and so much content is curated, but at the time that we were consuming content as adolescents and preteens and young adults before social media, the content was 100% curated.
Yeah.
You weren't seeing any real people. You know, at least now, and I talked about this a little bit, I think on our last episode when I talked about my struggle with acne too, where it's like I never saw another person.
Yeah.
Until then the internet became a thing, and it was like, oh, wow, like there's all these people. So I do feel like at least now, even though so much of the content we see online is curated, you are seeing real people too.
Yeah.
Which is different from how it was when we were adolescents and teenagers. I mean, everything was either magazines or television or movies, and it's all of these perfect people. And yeah, I mean, just thinking back, there was just such a time in media for modeling. It was America's Next Top Model, Janice Dickinson Modeling Agency. There was, you know, Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders who might as well be models. The Girls Next Door who might as well be models. And it was just, we were inundated with all of this. This is what you need to be to be attractive. And so much of it was just so toxic. And
yeah, I mean, I feel like too there was a prescribed look, very much so. Because, like, you know, I feel like I was
Hugh Hefner called it tits on a stick.
Yeah, it was very much all of our pop stars looked the same. Britney, Christina, Jessica Simpson. Yeah, you know, all of the big hitters were this very much like same look and style. Yeah. And, you know, not that that doesn't happen now, but I feel like there is a lot more variety, especially, you know, we have Billie Eilish, we have Doja Cat. I mean, the spectrum is so wide now for like who is popular, the look and tone and feel of each person. Like their individual identities is much more encouraged, where before it felt like a very like factory kind of thing. And it was all, I mean, it was just all consuming. Yeah. And I feel like I had mentioned, like being so influenced by music videos where it was just like so overly sexualized. And every morning I got ready for school and I turned MTV on and watched music videos while I got ready for school. Right. And I was like, if you don't think that wasn't part of my prefrontal cortex development.
Oh, absolutely. I know. And, you know, I have some examples here of just like things that have stuck in my mind, but this one particular scene in Making the Team, the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders show that was on TLC, not the one that's on Netflix now. This is the old school on TLC. It was the Wild West, and like there was no, now they don't say like, oh, you're not, are
skinny
you
enough? Yeah.
Or they don't even, they won't even say like, I don't think you're eating enough. They're like, you're not keeping your energy levels high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They've changed the way they talk about it. But in the original Making the Team, they would do their weigh-ins at auditions. And then they were expected to maintain that weight throughout the entire season. And I remember this one particular scene where this veteran had returned and they're watching him in the auditions, and the coach keeps making comments about, did her arms get big? Her arms got big since last season.
God.
And she's talking about, and this is the part that's like so crazy. She's talking about she's too muscular. Her arms, because they're talking about, I think she's been working out too intensely, like her, and she's talking about how the, you know, muscle composition of her arms are not what they're looking for aesthetically. And so what's so crazy to me is they expect these girls to be strong enough to like do all of this dancing and like do all of this crazy stuff. You have to be strong.
Yeah.
Yet they're not allowed to gain a single pound.
Right.
And
Not
they
too strong,
still
though.
have to fit into this thin aesthetic. And it's like so insane. It's like not achievable for most people. Like it's just not attainable. It's not healthy. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just like, that was on television.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're watching this. Like
I know the coded language is so funny too. Like, I just want to make sure you're being healthy.
Yeah.
It's always been a thing. Like, no, we just want you to be healthy, aka skinny.
Skinny. Yeah.
It's like that part in Superbad where Katherine Heigl's like has that meeting where they're like, we want to put you on camera, but she's pregnant.
Yes.
And they were like, but then after the baby, tighten it up.
Tighten it up.
Oh, you want me to lose weight?
Knocked up.
We don't want knocked up. Not
Yeah.
super bad. Yeah. We don't want you to lose weight. Just tighter.
She's like, so lose weight. You're like, no.
But just get on the scale, then subtract that number by 20.
Yeah.
20. Okay.
Yeah. No, right. I know. And then, did you ever watch the Janice Dickinson modeling agency?
No, that was an actual show.
Oh my God.
Was this post America's Next Top Model? Because she was a judge, right?
Yeah, this was before, I'm pretty sure.
Really?
Or at least maybe around the same time. I used to watch this on, was it E? It was either E or TLC. And in one of the first episodes, she's got her and her partner, and they've got, you know, women coming in, or men and women, models coming in for, you know, to be checked out. And she says, oh, good, a blonde, to like the partner. And her partner says, yeah, a blonde that's very, very thick in the waist. And they're saying all this right in front of the girl, you know. And then Janice says, get on the scale, honey. And then the partner says, we need to weigh it. We need to weigh it. Keeps calling her it.
It?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes. And the partner just keeps saying these girls have to lose weight. And Janice is like kind of defending them a little bit. She's like, oh, they're only 18. They've got their cycles. They still got like hormones, like, you know. And then she says to the partner, just because they're overweight now doesn't mean they won't get it together. And then she makes them leave. She goes, girls, you got to go. Leave the room. Go ahead and go. And then in the confessional, she says to the camera, she's like, these girls have two weeks to shape up or ship out. And I just really needed them to have some incentive. And it's like, 2 weeks? Like, what? I mean.
Like, you really, I mean, unless you starve yourself, there's really no way for that to happen. It's also just crazy to me that we've just decided that, like, yeah, if you're a model, it's okay to just treat you like you're not a human. And just, I mean, like, what?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that still happens. As much as we like
sure.
to think that, like, we've made strides and it's not as bad as it used to be, like, I'm sure the expectations are still, like the Victoria's Secret runway show, they brought it back finally, and I was like, they had like one girl who maybe, I mean, had like a few extra pounds in comparison to all the models. There was nothing.
Tiny bit of diversity. Tiny.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty pathetic. And then it was just like looking at all the models, and it's just like, that just sucks that we're still there. That's like expected of models, and that's really what we want to see.
It's really what we want to see. And like, I feel like and Yeah. And we've talked about this with Project Runway, about designers complaining about having the plus size model. And, you know, speaking of plus size models, there was this particular episode of America's Next Top Model where the plus size model is, and here's the thing, like they cast the plus size model on the show. She's part of the show. They know they have a plus size model, and they're doing this high fashion shoot with this car, and the girls are posing with this car in these crazy couture, like high fashion avant-garde looks. And there's a scene with the plus size model and the stylist. And the stylist is literally, oh, so you should see this shirt. It's like a Home Depot, like button down, like an orange button down polo. And the plus size model is like, what is this? Like, this is like a high fashion shoot. And the stylist is like, what do you think? I'm just going to have like a full rack of clothes in your size? You know how this modeling thing works.
Oh my God, that is insane. Also, the fact that we still use the term plus size model
is insane.
It should just be models.
Models. Exactly.
How are we still describing them by the size of their body? They're just a model.
I know. And then there was another episode where a contestant who had gained a little bit of weight while on set was then the subject of the sin of gluttony. And then I
remember this episode.
And then in the next, she was portrayed as an elephant. So the next two subsequent
I remember this girl.
Yes,
that was a fantastic season.
Yeah.
First of all, and that shoot was amazing.
Yeah, the 7 Deadly Sins shoot.
Yeah. But yeah, poor. Oh my God, an elephant really. Get the fuck, like what am I supposed to do with that?
And I think she gained like a pound.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God, poor girl. Like
crazy.
She's probably still working through the damage done.
And then, so in response to the plus size model having that issue with the stylist and being in that stupid polo shirt, when they do their like whatever the deliberations at the end when Tyra's talking to him, this is what Tyra says to her. And now listen, this is a black girl speaking to a black girl, so I can't speak to that experience, but I feel like what Tyra said is a little wild. So here's what she says.
I'm sure it is. She only says wild things.
She says, and I quote, "It's almost like being a plus size girl is even harder than being a black girl. You got to be bubblier. You got to be more lovable. Your pictures got to be better to get the same thing that the skinny girls behind you are getting."
Yeah, I mean.
And I can't speak to the black experience, but I don't even know how to respond to that.
Yeah, it's very strange. Well, because I think you hear that from black women a lot, that like, yeah, we have to always do better.
Right.
That is, but like, I don't think you get, it's that she is not a plus size quote unquote person,
right,
telling that to someone else, and it's just like setting this weird standard for them.
Yeah, it was very strange. It just seemed like a very strange thing to say, and like, I don't know. It's almost
probably not untrue, which is sad because I bet a lot of plus sized women feel that way.
Absolutely.
It's just coming from her in a coaching sense, because it's almost like she's telling her, you need to do this.
Right. And there's also something like, so I feel like there's so much more depth to like the black experience in terms of like, we're just talking about a body shape here that like,
it's hard to relate the two given the historical context.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's almost like no historical context around just like being a little overweight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's making, and that's the thing, is like it's making, it's telling people of a certain size that it's this horrible thing to be larger when it's not.
Right. Such a strange loaded comment.
Yeah, it is very weird. And I mean, that's what she's known for, is just like saying the most fucking insane stuff, especially on that show. Like, I wonder if she looks back on that show and is like, man, I regret a lot of those things I said to those girls.
I wonder too.
Or if like because I mean, seeing it now, it's just like, whoa, so much of that you could not get away with today.
No. Are you kidding
me? And it
me?
wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
So, like, I wonder if she's had time to be like, but I also feel like Tyra Banks is the kind of person who's just like, nope, I'm ultra confident in everything I do, and no matter what, I stand by what I did. Like, we'll have to do a deep dive on her show, the Tyra Banks show, because they did some insano stuff on that too.
She's
like dressing up in a fat suit as a homeless person.
God. Well, remember when they did blackface on America's Next Top Model?
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah.
And the funniest part was she just thought she should have won like a Pulitzer
for doing that.
Because she was just like, nobody even looked at me. It's like, yeah, no shit. Like, we needed you to go undercover to tell us that people ignore homeless people. Like, obviously.
I know.
They didn't, not even me. They couldn't even see that it was a rich celebrity underneath the costume. Like, yeah, cool.
Right. I know. And then, okay, just a couple of other notable moments from that show is the gap tooth.
Oh,
remember that?
Yeah. I know, and she didn't get it.
No,
didn't they try to convince her to get it filled?
They wanted her to close her gap, and
insane.
Then she says,
"Good for her."
I know.
Danielle, I remember her. I think her name was Danielle.
Yeah. So Tyra sent a girl to have her gap closed, and she refused. And Tyra said, "Do you really think you can be a cover girl with that gap in your mouth?" There was a lot of clips where it seems very clear that Tyra is telling the girls they need to play down their intelligence. There's a lot of that, of like, you're too intimidating if you're smart, and like you're not approachable, and
that's almost the worst one.
I know.
I mean, what? Like,
yeah.
What, are you just trying to turn back the clock here, lady? Like,
Tyra told a girl that her ambitions of wanting to be a doctor were too uppity.
Being a doctor?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Crazy. Oh, yeah, there was another there was an episode where they're doing a plastic surgery theme shoot, and the host says that the point of this photo shoot is taking your negatives, trying to actually fix them, and then in the photo shoot we're gonna like poke fun at those who take plastic surgery to the extreme. So it's like, okay, the message here is we expect you to fix your flaws, but don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Don't take it to the extreme.
Right.
You know.
And don't be too obvious about it.
So they had people do shoots with like fake cheek implants and butt implants. But anyway, before the photo shoot, they're having them come out, and Tyra asks them questions about their specific flaws. Like, why should I hire you with a short neck? And like all these different things. And one judge says, I need you to give me 3 poses that hide your feature flaw, which is your narrow hips. So they're like basically like picking all the flaws out, and like, how can you hide this or fix this, or why should I hire you when you have this flaw, and yada yada. Yeah, so that was
I know, so much of that show is like very little model training and just like, all right, how do we turn you into another person?
Yeah. So that was wild. That was a wild time in reality television.
Yeah, and I mean, I was just watching that constantly. And there were a lot of shows like that. Just, you know, you don't really think about, and we have the term influencer now.
Yeah.
And how easily it is to be influenced. But like, the influencer isn't a new role. It's just isn't a new thing.
The
it's
platform
just in a different platform.
Different.
Yeah. And now anyone can be an influencer as opposed to just celebrities.
Yeah.
You know, but like celebrities have always been the influencers.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's just not like a 1% anymore.
Yeah. You know, and it's just going back to that time too, and thinking about all of the marketing and the ads. You know, we had Hydroxycut, Atkins Diet, Nutrisystem, Weight Watchers, Slim Fast, actual diet pills that were killing people. I mean, and it's not that we don't. I mean, now you look at it, we have Ozempic. We have all of these GLP-1s that are being marketed. We have Serena Williams endorsing it. It's not that the culture has changed so much. It's not that we don't have these things, but it just really felt like almost like the frontier of that stuff for us. Like, it came to the forefront, I feel like, when we were coming up in our adolescence. Not that there weren't things for our parents' generation and our grandmother's generations. Not that they weren't looking at catalogs and that there weren't waist trainers and like all kinds of stuff.
Different
and
generation of things.
Yeah, not that, you know, because sometimes I feel like we do sound like we're the only generation that's grown up in diet culture.
Of course not.
But I just think it was the perfect storm for us.
Yeah.
And it really was inescapable. And yeah, it's funny because we were talking about the girls next door earlier, and I've never related with something more when Kendra and her friend are talking about the sleep diet and like the more you sleep, the less you eat. And I was like 12 years old. And I remember having that thought of like, oh, I slept until noon. Good. Because like then I didn't eat breakfast and like I'll eat less at like 12.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
Oh yeah. I definitely had like disordered eating behavior like that where I was just like, well, I want to feel and look skinny for this thing tonight. So I'm not going to like eat a bunch. But I wonder too if, you know, Gen Zers, like if they're going to feel the way we feel, like, oh, it's so much more. It's like a perfect storm. Because, like, although the influencers now are real people, I feel like they are so much more bombarded. Like, they have so many more outlets. And the influencing is happening at a much higher rate just because, based on exposure.
You can't escape it.
Yeah, and, like, they're looking at their phones constantly as opposed to, like, we got it from TV. We weren't watching TV as much as kids are scrolling on their phone.
Exactly.
You know? And it's just like, and now it's like, you can't escape it from anywhere because even your friends are influencers. And like, God.
I know. I wonder that too. I do wonder what the landscape is going to be like for them and how they're going to feel about it 10, 15 years from now. I wonder what it's going to be like for my children. I hope better. And that's the thing too that scares me with the internet and social media. It's like how much, because like I know like we're talking about this on this podcast and like, okay, yeah, like my daughters could potentially listen to this podcast someday, and hopefully what they would hear is an honest conversation. And even though I haven't gotten to a place yet mentally and emotionally where I accept myself fully for who I am, I hope to get there someday. I'm vainer still than I would like to be. It's a constant struggle. It's a constant work in progress. I am so conscious of, I would never talk negatively about my body or myself in front of them. And quite frankly, most of the time I don't feel that way.
Yeah.
Most of the time I do, when I do have to put a little bit of effort in. Like when I just like pass by the mirror in like my pajamas and no makeup, my hair is crazy, I'm not like, yeah, girl. But when I put a little bit of effort in, I get dressed and I do my makeup. Yeah. Most of the time, I feel good about myself. I'm like, I look good. I feel good. I feel good in my body. I feel good in my skin. But it's not all the time, and it's not where I would like it to be. But like, I'm so conscious of like, I don't talk negatively about myself in front of my kids. I would never comment on their looks, their weight. Not that I don't say like, I'll say, oh, you look beautiful or you're beautiful, but like we follow intuitive eating. I would never say, oh, you've had too much of that, or, you know, I'm very conscious of all those things, but I also worry about like, how much does that even really matter? Because how much influence comes from the outside? Yeah. Because when I think about like where my issues stem from, it's not my mom. Yeah. I mean, it's not.
I think it is important.
I do too.
But I think what the point is, like, insecurity is unavoidable. It wouldn't be, I think that definitely, because you model your parents, I think it's a huge influence. It's not, maybe it's not the words you say, but I think it's the way you behave. Yes, I agree. You model for them. Yeah. But it is unavoidable. Right. They're going to there's outward influences that like, you can't avoid. So
I know, and I wonder how
that
much
counteracts a lot of it, though. Like, you see your mom setting a great example of having like confidence and taking pride in how she looks, and dressing who she feels like she is. Yeah, and not talking about herself negatively. Yeah, I think helps counteract some of that.
I hope so, and it's also like, because I am the type of person that like I wear makeup, and then sometimes I think about that. It's like when you start to think about things too macro, and it's like, yeah, but am I putting too much emphasis on that? Is my 6-year-old seeing me? And like, I'm getting back into my fashion era a little bit now that I'm done having kids, and I like clothes. It's how one of the ways in which I express myself. It's a creative outlet for me. I like putting outfits together, and like, are my daughters going to see that and be like, oh, like that's an important thing. You have to like dress good and like wear makeup and like you have to look nice. Because like I think it's fine if that's what you want to do and that's what you enjoy doing, because I do. But I also don't want them. But then at the same time, like I'm not doing that every day. Yeah. I'm just bumming around my house like this most days. So I hope they see the balance, and it's like do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah.
And like your outward appearance is something that you can take pride in if you want to, but also it doesn't have to matter.
Yeah. Let me read you. I think Michelle Obama just published a book kind of about this topic. It's called Look. And she said this about her book coming out. It was like how she described it. Long before I knew that my look might mean something to others, I spent many years figuring out what it meant to me. Whether it was picking out a back-to-school dress as a young girl, going to prom in a gown designed by me and hand-sewn by my mother, or walking across my college campus in braids and denim, those first style choices taught me that appearance and power are often intertwined. How you show up can be just as important as what you say or do. Over time, I learned that confidence isn't something you're given, it's something you have to choose every day. My new book, The Look, is a reflection of a lesson we all learn in our own way. The power is showing up as ourselves. The Look is available now, which I feel like I need to read that book. Yeah. Like it's true. Like wearing clothes and being into fashion doesn't have to be a, what's the word I'm looking for? Superficial thing.
Right.
It can just be like, there's not these standards you have to dress to. It's just finding who you are and expressing yourself. And that like, there is a lot of power in showing up and taking pride in how you look and who you are,
right,
in a healthy way. But again, the line is thin to where like it could be obsessive and like, okay, now do I feel like I can't leave the house unless I'm in a full face of makeup?
Right.
And like, is that myself too?
Right.
Like,
yeah,
I know it is a tricky line, but
it is tricky too, because, and we've talked about this, and like, I definitely can. And part of this is because I've always struggled with acne in my skin. I know that's part of it. It's always been such a huge insecurity for me. I can fall down the rabbit hole of like skincare and like the anti-aging stuff. And like sometimes too, like, and I'm trying to pare down my routine a little bit, but it's like, are my kids going to see all this effort that I'm putting into my appearance and be like, oh, do I need to be doing all of that? Because like the answer is no.
Yeah.
But it's also something that I enjoy and it makes me feel good. And so, sometimes it is hard to know, like, is what they're seeing, how is it shaping their views? Because I don't really know at the end of the day.
I don't know, like, how often do you talk about that? Like, when you're putting on your makeup, you're like, I'm putting on makeup today, but I don't have to. I'm choosing to, and it's just like, how often really do you do that? Yeah.
And of course, like my 6-year-old likes to watch me put my makeup on, and she wanted a little makeup kit, so she puts her little makeup on, and I don't let her wear it out of the house or anything. Yeah. It's just play. But, and I did notice this. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm doing something right. But she got her little makeup thing out, and she's like, I'm going to a party, I gotta put my makeup on, so it's like,
she knows the difference.
I don't wear it every day, because I'm not getting up in them every morning, I think she knows it's more for like a social thing. When mom goes out of the house to do something, she puts on makeup. But I don't know, it is a struggle, because this is so stupid, I'm like almost gonna cry.
Aww.
I want better for my daughters. I want so much for them to just be happy in their skin from day one and to stay that way. And I know it's not really possible, unfortunately. Like, we're all, we've talked about this. No one can escape it. Yeah. And we're all, we all fall victim to it. But it just, God, like, there's been some really dark times with it where it's like, and it's like, I just want better for them, and I just don't know if it's gonna be.
I know, and that, I love you so much. You're such a good mom. But no, it's okay. I mean, I feel like, I don't know how you're a mom, especially to daughters that don't feel that way.
I know.
And of course, that's what you always want for your kids. You want it to be better, but especially as a woman, like, that's the hardest thing I think that we all have in common as women is like, it's unavoidable.
It's unavoidable.
Because no matter how well you're mothered, you are gonna be exposed to, you know, and it's the sad nature of humanity and society right now. And it's heartbreaking.
And
but I feel like they will be better because they have such a good example, and you know, you're teaching them the right way and modeling a good example for them. And hopefully humanity is progressing and getting a little bit better. You know, maybe like may not be leaps and bounds better, but a little bit.
It's like every time I think we are,
I know
something will happen, and it's like, damn it. And like, I just want them to know their true worth and value, and like has nothing to do with what you look like, and it has nothing to do with what a man thinks of you.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I mean, when I think about how, and I still have to work at this, like how much of my self-worth and like is based on what people think of me, and especially men.
Yes.
You know, pleasing, looking, being acceptable and found lovable by men. And like the patriarchy is strong, and I see it in myself sometimes, like at work especially, where I'm just like, why am I'm giving this guy a pass for no reason,
right?
And I think one, it's because I've had a lot of great male examples in my life, so like I've been fortunate that like I haven't learned that lesson the hard way, that a lot of them aren't great. But like, yeah, I definitely do. I always just assume they're right. I always just assume they know what they're talking about. And it's because I think a lot of that is the male gaze is prioritized and influential, especially like that's why we're forced to be skinny. That's why everybody needs to be skinny, so that they can look good to the opposite sex. Like I feel like that's really where it stems from.
Absolutely it is.
You know, and then it's been programmed in all women, and now we require it amongst ourselves too.
I know.
And it's like, it is like, 'cause like you said before, I feel like even personally, I feel like I take strides where I'm like, yeah, I feel so much more comfortable in my body. I used to hate my body the way it looked, you know, and I'm comfortable with it now, but not always. You know,
I know.
I go through days and weeks where I'm just God, like I have not grown an iota. Like I'm still the 17-year-old girl that just like hates her body.
And it's crazy how it's literally sometimes minute to minute.
Yeah,
it really is.
Oh my gosh, when I get ready to go to the gym, a lot of times I'm like at home and I'm like, yes, let's go do this, looking good. I get in the gym and the gym mirrors are horrible. The lights are awful. For some reason, everybody else
can really make or break your day.
I'm at the gym and I'm just like, oh my God. I was like, good thing you're here. And like, that's horrible.
I know.
That I talk to myself like that.
I know.
You know, still to this day.
I know. Dude.
Not always, but still do. It's like, it's a hard thing to shake.
It's a hard thing to shake, and clearly what we're trying to say is it's all Tyra Banks' fault. And
yeah, thanks, Tyra.
Oh my God, no.
And you know, like she's just as subject to it too,
as we are. I know, and more so because she's been publicly scrutinized, and
she's also been she was more of a voluptuous model.
Yes.
You know, I feel like she was kind of
she was
a
not
trailblazer in that way.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't know it from her show.
No, you wouldn't. She has no sympathy. She can't have clothes for the plus size model that they cast on the show. We have this one polo shirt for you. Sorry. I mean, honestly, ridiculous. Okay, sorry. We got off on some tangents there. We got a little deep. I cried. We got
in the weeds, but that's what the show's about.
That's what the show's about. We got in the weeds, and now we have to get out of them because we have to go, guys. We got to grape and gripe and get out of here.
Yeah, we got some fun to have.
Okay, so my gripe is just going out to, you know, getting a little bit older and realizing that I finally have like a tiny bit of anxiety driving at night when it's raining. And there's something in particular that gets me every time, and it's when you're turning left or right, but somehow left is always a little worse, I feel like, and there's a median. And it's raining and it's dark and there's a little bit of glare, and you really have to make sure you're clearing that median.
Yeah.
And you can't exactly see it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, it's there, but you can't see it because there's like so much rain and glare going on. But it's like, let me just go a little wide to make sure I'm clearing this thing. And I was driving home too from our fall break trip, and it was raining a little bit, and it was dark, and we're like on the highway, and I was a little bit anxious, and I was like, man, I just gotta get home. I need this drive to be over. And it never used to be that way. I don't know if it's something that just happens with age. And
it does.
I have great eyesight. I mean, I've never needed glasses or anything, but yeah.
I'm the same way. I get like more nervous driving places. Like I used to just like, oh, drive back to New Orleans or like get in my car. And now I'm like, oh, I'm going to be by myself driving at night.
Yeah.
Like that. And then also, like I don't have bad eyesight either, but there's something about
clearing that median.
When it's raining, I don't like it. I think it is. It's just an old person thing. It's an aging thing.
I think so too.
Okay. My gripe goes out to the crows right now. In my neighborhood. I mean, I guess they're migrating. I don't know.
But you have a murder of crows?
Yeah. A couple murders.
Murders and murders of crows.
Murders and murders. Yeah, the last few times, like this whole week, going out in the morning, I'm just like, what the fuck are all these crows doing? And like...
the poop.
Yeah, like all on the ground and then like swarming kind of low. Ugh, I don't like it. It's giving the birds and it's very ominous.
Yeah, well, we do have like a crow overpopulation issue in Bloomington. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, and there was like multiple city meetings about it a few years ago.
Really interesting.
Yeah, because part of the problem when I worked downtown, right on the square, the crows were so bad that the parking meters would be completely covered in bird crap, all of them. And so that was part of like what stemmed to the point to where it was like hard like
to use them.
Yeah.
Like won't even function anymore.
Yes. And
ew, gross.
So yeah, I don't know what that's about, but yeah, it was a serious problem. There was articles about it in the IDS and stuff. So I don't know what that is, but yeah.
Yeah, I wonder, because I never really noticed it until like this last week or two, and I just assumed it was like maybe they're migrating and there's more of them here right now or for some reason. But yeah, it's been creepy because it's also like fall. Yeah. You know, so
and
it's
they're
like,
big.
They're huge.
The crows are big.
And they're like not necessarily scared of humans.
No.
Like you have to, because I was walking my dog, so I was like getting closer to the grass where they were, and like none of them were moving. And I was like, all right, are these birds going to fly away, or are they just going to like peck me?
Right. And the problem is when you make a loud noise and they do fly away, they all take off together. They all poop when they take off. And like,
just a shitstorm.
Yes. A literal shitstorm. Yeah. Crows have a real sense of community too. Have you ever seen crows chasing like a hawk?
No.
Oh my God.
Can they take it down?
Yeah. So if a hawk like gets one of them or tries to get one of them, the crows will just like go after the hawk and chase it. It's kind of one of the craziest things. You can find the videos like online, but I've seen it happen in real life a couple of times. It's pretty wild.
Man, that is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, birds are crazy animals.
Yeah.
Wild animals, in fact.
Birds are pretty crazy.
You heard it here, guys. Birds are crazy.
Episode title.
Quote me on that. All right. Grapey?
Yeah, so my grape, even though there's a little bit of a dark cloud over it, is just to the Stranger Things finale season premiere finally happening because, like I said, we do care. I care deeply, and I'm very excited.
Ready for it.
Yeah.
My grape goes out to a little Aldi's find and suggestion for everybody. My favorite snack that's just been my go-to there that I really love on a daily basis is the spinach and artichoke yogurt dip.
Nice.
It's so good, and it's pretty healthy for you. It's very low cal, made with yogurt, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
You can put on crackers, dip a carrot in there.
Nice.
It's really good.
We love a good
if you
dip.
need to do a good snack.
Oh, Brandon's calling us. Let's see. Hey, Brandon.
Yeah.
You're live on the pod.
Oh, we're doing a podcast right now, guys. We're chicks talking about cheese.
Actually, we were talking about dip, so pretty close.
Talking about what?
Dip. So pretty close.
Talking about what?
Dip. Not cheese, but dip. I mean, those are...
You were saying something else. We're going to keep the podcast PC here. Talking about dip. Pizza party at our house. Let me know when you're done podcasting. I love you guys.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for making me famous.
That was fun.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
are we good?
Yeah. Catch you next time.
Cool, bye.
Cool. Okay, bye.
Cool. Bye.